This week on the Harris Highlights podcast, the crew heads to Tucson and catches a selfie with one of the nation's best wide receivers. We give our Big Ten rankings, and the Heisman frontrunner likes our tweet mid-show. All this and more on the Harris Highlights show.
Na 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 na. Coming to you live from Arizona State in downtown Phoenix, this is the Harris Highlights Podcast, episode number 4. Now, gentlemen, we are in a brand new, spanking nice location. How do you like this new studio we got here?
It's fine. It's more private, sensual location. I love it.
Not gonna lie, I miss the old one.
I miss the because you can't wheelie around this one.
I like the new one personally.
Now, why does it seem like every time we're about to crack the top 25, we completely blow it? 2 weeks ago, we were ranked number 26 with a win, puts us in the 25. We lose to SC. This week, we're ranked 27, and we lose to Colorado. Is this some curse where we're going to get close every week, and then we're just going to get screwed over?
Let's just say each time Arizona State has an away game, close your eyes.
Oh, God, yeah, that's...
We got a home game this week.
Yeah! Homecoming!
Homecoming, so we have that going for us.
But that's our
Hey,
team.
positivity.
Well, unfortunately, the top 25 does not include Arizona State, but it does include some new teams in here. Guys, earlier in the week I told you to give me 3 teams you feel are pretty much overranked in the top 25. Who's getting too much love?
I'm going to go first with this one. I'm just going to list all 3 of them. I have Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even deserve to be up there. They're 3-3. They're ranked 23rd.
Agreed.
They don't deserve to be there. I'm going to throw LSU in that mix as well because they really haven't showed a whole lot. Leonard Fournette's been out the last 2 weeks. He's most likely going to play this week. They're 4-2. They're ranked 25th, but I still not a big fan of them. And I think Oklahoma's overranked as well. They definitely deserve to be in the top 25, but not as high as 16.
I got one pretty obvious one. Boise State. They're at, 14 now?
Yeah.
Again, who have they played? How are they at 14 when they've played absolutely nobody? They have no marquee wins on their schedule. It makes no sense to me at all.
If we can add, of course, you guys aren't going to like what I'm saying because I said this before. I do agree that Boise State is a little bit too high, but I am going to play devil's advocate. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I am going to play devil's advocate and say that they are 6-0. And for the first, 4 or 5 weeks of the season, Washington was at 4-5, and they hadn't played anyone either. So clearly Washington has proven that they're a top 5 team, but I'm just playing devil's advocate and saying that Western Michigan's 7-0 and they're ranked 20th. And with Boise State being 6-0 and ranked 14th, and... it's just to put it in perspective a little bit.
See, I mean, I like the Boise State love. They are undefeated, but I just got up their schedule really quick.
Yeah.
UL Lafayette, Washington State, won by 3. At Oregon State, won by 2 touchdowns. Utah State, won by 11. At New Mexico, which they pretty much ran away with. And then Colorado State, won by 5. So all these games have been fairly close. I mean, they've been dominant against the teams they have not played. A good game tomorrow against BYU, which will be a good test, because I saw some stat. BYU is 4-3. Everyone make a guess right now how many points they've lost by a combined total of in their 3 losses.
10.
8.
I'm going to say 5.
12.
Those are all very good guesses. 7 points.
Wow.
So 3 losses by a combined total of 7. So BYU is a very good team, and I think tomorrow they can potentially take down Boise State. But that's just my Boise State comment.
Despite the fact that Arkansas is 5-2, there are 5-2 teams that are not ranked that I think
Sun Devils.
that I think are leaps and bounds better than Arkansas. Yeah, they've been impressive, but I just putting them at 17 it's not a bad ranking for a 5-2 team. I'm just not that big of a fan of the way that they play their ball, and I just haven't been too impressed with the Razorbacks.
Not gonna lie, I think you guys might disagree with me on this one, but
Shocker.
I'm gonna say Wisconsin. Wisconsin at 10. You see, their top 10 team with 2 losses, I don't like that. I mean, there's a lot of better teams, I'm going to say maybe Houston, maybe someone else. But with a 2-loss team being in the top 10, to me, that doesn't exactly make sense to me. I'm not buying that. I mean, like, once they get... The 2 losses have come from good teams, and that's true. I do agree on that. But overall, a 2-loss team in the top 10,
I'm sort of with you on that one because my next team that I had was Florida State, who's a 2-loss team, and they're at, I think,
They're at 13
now. Yeah. And to be honest, I think the only reason they're even there is to make this Clemson game on Saturday look like a better game because
Yeah.
a 1-point win over Miami, you only beat Wake Forest
sad.
by 11, and since that Ole Miss game, who is my third team and also hasn't been very good, they just haven't been that impressive. Their one tough game this year, Louisville, they got absolutely ran over. To be at 14 for that, I think is a little high.
But I also asked to name. This was tough. I said, give me 3 teams you feel are not receiving enough love. I know Lyle was struggling. I was struggling to get teams that don't have any love, so you guys can just name me one. But is there any team that you guys pretty much have your eye on that's not getting? Okay, Brady, aside from Indiana.
No, I didn't. I don't even have IU in that top 3.
Who do you feel is not getting enough love?
Chattanooga, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Besides them.
Also, I just want to say Chattanooga did suffer their first loss this week.
Oh, no.
They were
They are
undefeated.
human.
Season's over.
They are
So
human.
That did break my heart that they are a good team. But who's the one team that's...
I have 3. I came up with 3. I think one of them is right where they should be. Tennessee. I have them being underranked. They're 18th right now at 5-2. And then also another 5-2 team are the Tar Heels of North Carolina. I think North Carolina, ranked 22nd right now, should be higher. They've had some really good wins, and
I was just going to say that.
I think they should be a higher ranked team, at least in the top 20.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I was just going to say North Carolina would be my underranked team.
The only misgiving that I have about the Tar Heels is the fact that they pretty much got smacked by the Hokies.
I was going to say the same
So,
thing.
yeah, I could tell Lyle was going to say the same thing. That's why I wanted to bring it up. But there are a lot of teams that aren't ranked as well, but I'm not saying they should be top 20, not top 15. But there are some unranked teams that I think are pretty impressive. The top 2 being Colorado and Miami. I've also been impressed with Oklahoma State. You want to see the Sun Devils up there, but I also like the way that USC is playing now. But I think definitely out of the 2 teams that aren't ranked, I would have to say Colorado and Miami. Maybe Colorado falling out a little bit, but definitely the Hurricanes.
My one, and it's a little bit of a unorthodox one, but I have A&M at 6. I think is a little too low for them. I mean, okay, I know they're 6-0. I know everyone ahead of them is also undefeated, but Clemson's still at 4 when they should have lost on Saturday.
Yeah.
That NC State kicker makes his field goal, they drop. So I don't think they should stay at 4 for that win. I think A&M should have absolutely jumped them over after beating Tennessee.
Well, speaking of Clemson almost losing, let's transition into our new top 4. I don't know what your guys look like, but mine kind of shook up this past week. So who wants to go with theirs this week, Josh?
So I'm going to go first, and I had mine set, but after what Lyle just said, it really made me think, and this was something I'd been going back and forth with for a few days now. So going from 4 down to 1, my new number 4 is actually A&M.
Wow.
So no UW and no Clemson this week. At number 3, I have Ohio State. At number 2, I have Michigan. I do like the way that Michigan's playing. And then at number 1, no surprises, 7-0 Alabama. I'm not a big fan of watching Tide football. If I see them on TV, I'm probably not going to watch them unless it's a big game. But they are without a doubt the best team in the country.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go Alabama at number 1. I like Ohio State at 2. My top 3 is the AP Poll's top 3. Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan. And I think A&M is actually 4.
Wow. 2 shockers. I was not expecting those.
So you're saying 2 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is the way it should be, because that would be fantastic.
That would be
Don't get me wrong. I think I can speak for Brady saying this too. I like the way Clemson's playing.
Yeah.
Nothing against them. They've fallen off a little bit lately, but nothing against Clemson and nothing against UW. I think UW's going to have a tough couple of games coming up. I think ASU might give them some trouble. I think their biggest challenge going to be this year is USC because they're finally playing well. But I think Washington has a little bit of a tough road ahead, and we can see them either really step up and shine or see that they might not be as good as everyone thinks they are. But I'm just a lot more impressed with A&M currently than I am with the Huskies or the Tigers.
And going on to that Clemson point, they have fallen off a little bit, but I think one of the big things is, and we talked about this in I think the first and second episode of the series, was the amount of primetime games and views that your team gets.
Yeah.
So they had their first, I think, 3 games were all primetime or big TV games, where now they're playing it 1 o'clock, noon. They're playing some smaller, not primetime games. So that's I think why I have them dropping out.
And to be honest, they haven't been so stellar all year. I mean, they're still undefeated, but they almost lost to Troy. They now should have lost that NC State game.
Hey, really quick though to put on Troy, I was looking at the teams receiving votes. Troy got a vote this weekend. So I'm some respect to Troy. Okay, if they can get a vote, then they're obviously a good team.
But in the USA Today poll, they got 10.
Okay, so Troy is not a Troy.
Tulsa and BYU each got 1, and Appalachian State got 2.
I still though, if you're
Clemson's
Clemson's not what they were last year. But anyway, my top 4 is like Brady. I now have Bama at 1. They've now impressed me enough to just give them the edge over Ohio State for now. I mean, not to take anything away from either team, they're both stellar. And then Ohio State at 2, pretty impressive win in overtime against Wisconsin on Saturday. I still have UW at 3. I still think that they're until they prove me wrong, they're deserving of the spot. And then Michigan just cracked my top 4 at 4 this week. They've dominated in 5 of their 6 games so far this season. They got a big win against Wisconsin as well. And I really like A&M. I think they're a great team, but they just missed my top 4. I like Michigan just a little bit more.
So sorry, reiterate for me. So 5 and 6 would be Clemson and A&M?
I would go A&M at 5, Clemson at 6.
Okay.
Right.
Spencer?
I mean, to me, there's no question at number 1. Never was for me. So that's going to be Alabama. Then number 2 is Ohio State. 3, I'm finally respecting Michigan. I don't know how it's going to work with the last game of the season, how they play each other out.
Yeah.
But
That is going to be a...
to me, that's why you can't have 2 teams from the same conference.
Well, I said...
I think you kind of have to, though, at this point.
I don't know. I do agree with you. Clemson look a bit shaky. They are looking a bit
They were
shaky.
all year.
However,
Yes.
if Clemson keeps playing well and if A&M keeps playing well, it all comes down to, I think, that last game. If Michigan and Ohio State both are undefeated come their last game, yes, I think if one of those teams loses, there's still a chance that they can get into the playoff if that team that wins goes on and wins the the conference championship. Whoever loses that game, I still think has a chance to get in.
Only if it's a close game.
Yes, only if it's a close game. If it's a good game, if it's a blowout, no chance. I don't think it will be a blowout though. However, that game could, if both of those teams are undefeated, and someone's going to win that game, obviously, that means that if Clemson's still playing well, and if A&M is still playing well, then that opens the door for one of them to kind of back their way in.
And then so it would be Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan for 3, and then Washington above Clemson for my 4 spot.
Okay. I like those 4. I like how you guys were talking about how you guys are going to have 2 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams, but I don't know if they're going to have 2 SEC teams, to be honest. I think they're just going to have 1.
To be honest,
because
I
like
can
I
see the same
said,
thing happen. I don't think there's going to be 2 SEC teams.
there's going to be 1, and it's not going to be Bama. Because for the 100th time, don't sleep on Chattanooga. I'm telling you, I was looking up their schedule. They're outscoring opponents by like 300 points this year.
Well, how many? Okay, so I'm going to sidestep this just a little bit. How many undefeated teams are going to be in the playoff this year?
2.
2.
I'm
Okay.
going with 1 because at this point in the season, it's halfway through the year. There's still a handful of undefeated teams. Somebody always loses. Somebody always gets upset.
I'm going to say 1 too. I'm going to say there's going to be 1 undefeated team. So what are the chances that a 2-loss team gets in? At this point, with the way that the top, say, 6 or 7 teams are sitting right now, is there a chance for a 2-loss team to get into the college football playoff? I say no.
Unlikely.
No.
Do you guys think that a team who doesn't finish first in their division or in their conference can make it to the playoffs?
Yeah.
In the Big Ten, yeah.
Big Ten, SEC.
As Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first or last.
Really quickly, though, I just wanted to talk about these blowouts. 66-0.
For Chattanooga.
34-0. 41-21, 37-7, and 52-31.
You didn't tell us who they were playing.
Well, I mean, dude, obviously they're going against powerhouses like Presbyterian, Shorter.
Who is this? Chattanooga.
Furman. Dude, ETSU. I'm just saying. I'm telling you.
no way.
If Zane
is it
and the
extraterrestrial
entire Chattanooga
Southern
team
University?
showed up at your house, how happy would you be?
Oh, I'd be very happy. But really quick, because I just want to give my top 4. I think it's the exact same as Spencer's. I have Bama at 1, Ohio State at 2, Michigan at 3, and Washington at 4. I do love, though, your A&M picks. Because they've looked really good this year. They've played really good teams. That A&M Bama game is going to be very interesting. I want to say is it at Kyle Field? Or is it in Tuscaloosa this week? The A&M Bama game. I guess we'll get more of that. It's in Alabama.
It's in Alabama.
I'll get.
Yeah, it's in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, like I said, we'll talk more about that in the end. But I think A&M is going to be, and that's been like a really popular comment also that we've been getting, is that most people think that A&M is the team that takes down Bama, which I completely agree with. I think if anyone's going to beat Bama, it's going to be Texas A&M. But like I said, we'll talk more about that game later in the show.
Then again, you do have rivalry games at the end of the year. I mean, there's a lot of rivalries.
That's true, but I mean,
or at least small rivalries.
For
Anything
Auburn,
can happen.
or I mean, for Alabama though, I don't think anyone can take them down.
I agree.
Really quick now also, before we get into the main things of the show, quickly let's get to our Heisman watch because, I'm excited for mine because I know I have a player in my top 5 that is guaranteed not to be in any of yours. Like, I'm excited about this. So who wants to lead it off?
I was going to say Zane Gonzalez, but...
I was going to say Zane as well.
All right.
I mean, he's number 1 in all of ours, but...
All right. Cracking my top 5 for the first time this season. At 5, Seth Russell from Baylor, who's...
Nice.
I love it.
I like it.
I love
Nice
it.
pick.
Not
I
in
like
mine,
it.
but I like it.
Who's really had a great year and has not gotten love from anybody. I mean, but when you look at his numbers, he had... I mean, what was it? In the first half, on Saturday, I think he had 4 or 5 touchdowns just in the first half.
Well, I mean, he was playing Kansas, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
He had 4 or 5, but then he got pulled. So, okay, but anyway, enough about Seth Russell. 4, I've got Jake Browning, who's, well-deserving of the spot, really led the Huskies this season.
Yes, sir.
Still got Trevor Knight at 3. Really like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Had him as my sleeper week 1, and he's proven that he's the real deal. Number 2, I had Lamar slip this week to number 2 after he did not play as well as he should have.
I think
this
that's
past
just some
week.
Duke hate from Lyle over here. Still a little,
Didn't go look up his numbers.
would you like some pepper with your salt, Lyle? Ooh.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you.
Did not have a good week.
I respect
Look up
that
these
call.
numbers. And then number 1, it's JT Barrett after he really, led Ohio State, that tough game against Wisconsin, and he took him to a victory. He had a really nice game. I think
I respect that.
Just beats out Lamar this week in my Heisman watch.
Gentlemen?
Should I follow that up?
Go ahead.
Go right
I'm going to
ahead.
follow that up. Okay, so at 5, there are 2 players that at the moment, I'm questioning. And it's because I don't know if they should be in or I don't know if they should not be in. So at 5, I'm going to say it's a tie between Jabril Peppers and Jake Browning. That's going to be my tie at 5 because I'm just not totally sure. I don't think either of them are even close to being the best player in the country and a player that changes the way that their team plays football. But I'm going to throw them in there just because they're both very talented and they're playing well. At 4, I have Deshaun Watson. I did have Clemson drop out of my top 4 this week, but I still think Deshaun Watson's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. At 3, moving up in my list, is TK, Trevor Knight. I like the way he's playing. I like the way the team's playing. At 2 and 1, I have no change. 2, JT Barrett. Ohio State's still looking very impressive, led by JT. And great first 2 initials, by the way. Those are mine. Middle name and first name. Anyways, last, Lamar
First name and
Jackson.
middle name.
No question, unless you're Lyle, no question, Lamar Jackson. For me, I think he's the best player in the country, and I think if you take him off that Louisville team, that team's not a top 10 team. They're not even in the playoff
True that.
contention. So, those are my top 5.
I'm going to go next. So at number 5, I'm going to steal Lyle's pick. I'm going to say Seth Russell. Giving that man no love, I think he should finally get some love. Baylor's playing well. Baylor's actually playing super well. Number 4, I'm going to say Deshaun Watson. He's playing well, great quarterback, keeps on doing what he's doing, keeps on winning football games, should be up there automatically. Number 3, probably Jake Browning. No reason for him to fall, leading Washington so far. Next is JT Barrett, of course, and of course Lamar Jackson.
My number 5 is going to be Jake Browning. I think mine's the same top 5 as I had last week. Jake Browning at 5, the great Jabril Peppers at 4. I think what he's doing on both sides of the ball, it is the most recent player I can remember, or even going back and rewatching, play this well on both sides of the ball is Deion Sanders.
Really?
That Deshaun Watson at 3, JT Barrett at dos, and numero uno is Lamar Jackson.
That's some intermediate Spanish level right there.
Muchas
Brady.
gracias,
amigo.
Besitos, muchos, run.
Before Blake gives us his top 5, I'm just going to say Lamar threw for 181 yards on Saturday. That's not, and 1 touchdown. That's not that impressive. Okay, he ran for another 145.
There it is.
But this is also Duke. Like, he should be, beating
could.
those guys.
Duke beat Notre Dame, Lyle. You're wearing a Notre Dame shirt.
And Notre Dame's terrible this year. So
All right, so I'm going to get to my top 5 right now. At number 5, I have Deshaun Watson. That game against NC State. I think NC State's a good team, so nothing against them, but I have him slipping at number 5.
Remember when NC State beat a...
Remember when I was the only one that picked NC State to win?
Fair point.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Great.
High
High
five.
five.
Boom.
All right, at number 4, I
hate you
have
guys.
Jake Browning. And now is when I'm excited because at my number 3, one player who is not even... I'm pretty sure we have not mentioned his name in the 4 episodes of this entire show. Jalen Hurts, quarterback out of Alabama. How is it? Like, and he's getting no love in any of the Heisman predictions. He's a true freshman that's completely leading this Alabama team to victory. I'm gonna go over his stats really quick.
You're gonna put him at 3?
What?
You're gonna put him at 3?
3 at 3.
Really?
He has 1,400 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 430 rushing yards, and 8 rushing touchdowns.
Can you say what his passing yards again was?
1,400. So 1,400, 9 touchdowns, 400 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. How is it this guy's not getting any love? Well, I know I caught you guys off guard with that pick, right?
I don't think that he's not getting any love per se. I just don't think that he's being talked about in the Heisman contention because, put it plain and simple, he's a very talented player. He's very entertaining to watch. However, I don't think he is more important to a football team than these other players are. Because if you take Jalen Hurts off of the Crimson Tide roster, that team is still stacked. They are still 3 deep at least at every position. Every position.
Bama's never, built around its quarterback. That's just how they are. They have so much talent everywhere else.
They were built
They
around the
can
great
put
Trent
anybody-
Richardson a couple years ago.
He was great at Bama.
He was great at Bama.
Great draft.
Throw him in the NFL. Holy
great
hell.
draft.
Like I said, I keep talking about those 5 or 6 white-collar teams, and I don't think you ever really see a team like that that's completely built around the team's quarterback. But right now, I think it's starting to look like Ohio State is one of those teams that's starting to build around the quarterback, I think.
Yeah.
All right, well, I
know, I like it.
I love my pick.
I like it.
It did catch me off guard.
Take 2, Lyle.
Call me off guard, I just disagree.
Number 2, I got JT Barrett. And number 1, not moving at all this week, Zane Gonzalez, kicker, Arizona State. I was doing my research this week.
I was standing right next to Zane Gonzalez today.
I know we're
Hang
all
on,
very
congratulations. Hang on, I'll do the honors.
He's a beautiful man.
I'll
Do it for me, Lyle.
I'll do the honors.
Right after practice. Ugh.
So I was looking up.
Those legs, though.
He's a kicker, he couldn't be sweating that much.
Anyway.
He was on the first golf cart back.
Oh god, I was looking up stats, and Zane Gonzalez is the 3rd leading scorer in the country. He has 82 points. Lamar Jackson is 90, and then number 2 is Jeremy McNichols of Boise State, and he has 84. So this guy is 8 points away from Lamar. He is 8 points away from Lamar Jackson, guys.
Now wait. Now correct me if I'm wrong. We were in the car and come on, you were there too. We were in the car last week. I want confirmation, even though I'm pretty sure I'm right. We're driving back from Tucson and we're listening to the Arizona State game, I say in quotes, because it wasn't a game. Despite being in Colorado with the low or the high altitude, Zane Gonzalez hits a 59-yard field goal that the commentators state would have been good from 70.
When I made this joke a minute ago, but when I was actually standing next to Zane earlier today, he was talking to Tim Healy, who's the radio play-by-play voice for the Sun Devils. And he asked him about the field goals. And he's like, how far do you think he could have made it? And he said, at least 65.
Yeah, he's something else. I don't think he's going to win the Heisman personally, but I think he's going to run away with the...
Get out of here! Leave the room!
All right, bye. He's going to run away with the grosses.
He has 6 50-plus yard field goals. The next closest in the country only has 2. Jeez. And as Brady mentioned, he had a 59-yarder, and he had at least, or maybe it was Josh, I already forgot. He had at least another 10 yards in that thing. So I think could have gone, for 70 yards. But it's good to see, though, because also in all the comments and everything now, Zane Gonzalez is getting the recognition he deserves because we truly are witnessing greatness. He is the greatest kicker in college football.
History.
And did I say history wrong? The greatest kicker in college football history. And all I know is next year for fantasy, he's going to be my number 1 overall pick. You guys can take whoever you want, but he's my number 1 pick.
Not if I pick before you.
Yeah,
I'll
see
probably
about
still
that.
be able to beat you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But really quickly, just to lend it out, I'm keeping Lamar Jackson at number 1 because I honestly feel until he screws up, like, okay, his Duke game wasn't that great, but I feel like until he screws up, it's his to lose. Really quick though, to everyone out there listening, we need to get Zane Gonzalez to know about this show. So right now, if you have a Twitter, go find him on Twitter, tag him in the URL to this show because we need Zane. If we can get Zane Gonzalez on the show, my goodness, gentlemen.
I will work on this for you. I will try to get this.
Do it, Brady.
Get Zane.
Get Zane.
Get
But
Zane.
also to all the fans out there though,
Zaniacs?
just tag him out there. Go show him some love. Send him a nice tweet. Because he needs all the love he can get, because he is deserving of it, because he is our MVP. Before we get to our Big Ten rankings, the 4 of us made a little road trip this weekend. Sorry, Spencer.
Yeah.
We traveled to Tucson to see.
I had fun in Tempe.
We went to the U of A USC game, all for different and special reasons. Josh, why were you at the game?
I was at the game because I got hired by the Trojan Football Radio Network to work as their spotter. And that was a crazy experience because their play-by-play guy is one of my biggest broadcasting idols, and I've been listening to that crew since I was probably 7 years old.
Now, this was very, very cool as well because the reason I went, also I'm a USC fan, so I probably would have gone to this game anyway. But I want to give a huge shout-out right now to Paul McGlure. He probably is listening because I told him to, but we'll see. Paul McGlure, linebacker for University of Arizona. I made a highlight video from him last year, and we've remained in touch ever since. He's one of the nicest guys. I mean, this guy, out of all the guys I made highlight videos for, is without a doubt the best guy. Usually, I'll talk with him for a few days, make the tape, and I never hear from him again. This guy, he'll text me on a random day saying, hey, how's school going? Hey, how you doing? All this kind of stuff. What a wonderful guy. So at the beginning of the year, because he is a senior, this is his last season, he really wanted me to see a game live. But being at ASU, that's too tough. So about a week ago, I said, hey, you know what? It looks like I might be coming out for that U of A USC game. And he goes, I got you, my man. He says, how many tickets do you need? I'm like, oh. So I say, hey, Lyle, what are you doing this weekend? We have a little bro date. And he gave us 2 tickets. But Paul McGlure is a great guy. Everyone, please go show him some love on Twitter, Instagram.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but he texted you after the game, despite losing,
Yeah.
and said, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
That's the thing as well. So it was a complete blowout. And I wasn't even going to send him a text. Like, I was scared to send him a text saying, hey, good game, bud, when they lost by 30 and I didn't want to do anything. And about, I think it was 30, 45 minutes after the game, he texted me saying, hey, man, thank you so much for coming out. It means a lot. Sorry we couldn't meet up right now. But for the ASU U of A game, we'll meet up and I'll see you. And just like right off the bat, I wouldn't have sent a text if I lost by 30. So that just shows what a great guy he is. So, Paul, if you are listening, just thank you so much. We're all thankful. My family's thankful. All the Harris Highlight fans are thankful. You're the best, and keep it up.
Other than Blake inviting me to the game, the real reason I was there is so after the game, I could just stare at my childhood idol, Brady Quinn, walk right by me and say nothing.
Oh, no. Okay, can I please tell this story?
As long as I get one next.
So we're waiting there after the game, waiting for Josh, who, by the way, took like 45 minutes to come down from the damn booth.
Hey, they thanked me on the pregame show. I had to get it on Snapchat.
Anyway, so we knew that so Joe Davis and Brady Quinn were calling the game, so we knew that they were going to be coming down. And we see Brady Quinn and Joe Davis from about 50 yards out, and Brady's just going, Lyle, come here.
This Brady, not Brady Quinn.
Yeah. So
Brady Quinn's like, hey, Lyle.
So we see him walking towards us, and we're about maybe 5 feet or so from them. Joe Davis walks by, and I make because he's the Dodgers commentator, so I make a comment about the Dodgers, and he acknowledges me, and we discuss for about a quick 5 seconds as he walks by. And here comes Brady Quinn, Lyle's childhood idol, the guy he's looked up to, the guy, like, if literally Lyle could meet anyone in the world, it would be Brady Quinn.
Maybe, but he was my
and
first
Brady
favorite
Quinn
NBA
just
player.
walks right on by, and Lyle was silent. I mean, I've never seen. I mean, Lyle, man, what happened, bud? What happened, man? Talk to us.
I was in awe. I don't know.
He was in awe. That was But another very cool thing. So Lyle couldn't meet Brady Quinn, but there is someone that we all did meet. Juju Smith-Schuster, probably
The best receiver in the country.
probably without a doubt the number 1 wide receiver in the country. And how nice was this guy? So first of all, he came out and he took photos for about 10, 15 minutes. And then I guess the media found him and swarmed him. This one dude was asking him questions for, 15, 20 minutes, guys?
That dude wouldn't shut up.
He would not shut up about the questions, but Juju kept going. And I'm
You know
like,
who you are.
So pretty much every USC player had left by now. And there was Juju and a few other players. He turns around and he's still taking photos. And I whip out my phone to take a selfie, and the lighting is terrible. I'm like, okay, can we move? And he's like, man, let's go over here. So we move like 15 feet, and we
Wait,
take
really?
a selfie. Yeah.
I don't know the story.
Yeah, because you
We
weren't
all got
there.
pictures with him.
You weren't there,
We all got
bud.
pictures with
Why
him.
don't,
Trust
why
me,
don't
I-
you tell everybody what you said to him after you took the
Oh,
picture?
and so I don't know how many guys that new Juju on that beat craze has been going on.
Juju
but he-
on that beat?
But he posted a video like a few days prior of him doing it. So I was like, hey, Juju. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, Juju on that beat? And he just goes, oh, man. He just like looked embarrassed. But very cool getting to meet Juju Smith. Very nice guy. And we also met we met Zach Banner.
We did, Zach Banner. Darnold was next to us. We didn't say anything to him, though.
But that was very cool.
Yeah, so I'll add on and say, I had met Juju before. I had met Adoree Jackson before. I had met a lot of the current SC players before. And I will tell you right now, with any college football player that I have met while they're still in college, USC, UCLA, primarily those two are the two schools where I've met multiple players before. I've never had a bad experience with them.
Sorry. Moving on.
I heard their student section though was.
their students. Okay.
less
Sorry, we're
than,
calling you out right now. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in my entire life. U of A, show up to football games, please. That was
Yeah,
embarrassing.
that was
They're a basketball school.
Yeah, that's true. But moving.
That was
It was a great day, great
unreal.
overall experience. But last week we did our Pac-12 rankings, which got a very positive response from, and a lot of people were voicing their opinions on what conference they wanted to hear from next. A lot of SEC, a lot of American Conference,
ACC.
a lot of ACC, but the most requested one was the Big 12
Ten.
or Big 12, Big 10. Oh, I messed it
Way to
up.
set that up and
All right.
just fall right down.
All right, guys, -1 for me. Big Ten, there's actually 14 teams in the Big Ten, so it's going to take a little longer this week. This is what's going to happen, guys. Give your 14 through 8, no explanation or anything, just 14 through 8, and then we'll all discuss for about a minute or two why we rank those teams where.
Right.
And then we'll do 7, 6, 5, and then we'll do our top 4. All right, so Brady, do you want to start it
I'll
off this
start this
week?
one off.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm going to go 14 through 8, just like you asked, Blake.
Thanks.
Hey, you're welcome. Number 14, Rutgers, 2-5. They blow. Number 13, Illinois, 2-4. Number 12, Purdue. They just fired their amazing head coach who was 9-33 over the past 3 seasons.
Yikes.
What a record, Daryl Hazel. They're 12. Michigan State at 11. Minnesota at 10. Northwestern at 9. And Maryland at 8.
All right, Josh, you had your hand up.
So I'm going to take this away. Like I said, not a really big fan of somebody in the Big Ten other than Maryland and Nebraska, but I love watching them. So, Blake, 14 through 8. At 14, I have Rutgers. As Brady said, they are, 2-4?
Yeah.
2-5.
Yeah, but
2
they're,
and 5.
they're
2
an
and 5.
ugly 2-5.
2-5. They look good losing, though. Their uniforms are great.
True.
At 13, I have Illinois. At 12, I have Purdue. At 11, I have Sparty. At 10, I have Northwestern. At 9, sorry, Brady, I have Indiana. And at 8, just barely on the outside because of 2 losses to 2 other Big Ten teams, I have the Maryland Terrapins.
Lyle?
Okay, I've got Rutgers at 14. Yeah, they're a joke.
Not a very good one either.
Not much to say there.
Dad joke.
Yeah, and then I got Illinois at 13, Michigan State at 12, Purdue at 11, Minnesota at 10, Maryland at 9, and Northwestern at 8.
Spency?
I'm gonna start off
That's -2 for you, Blake.
Damn it.
with. So I'll start off with the Rutgers. They're a bad team, as everyone says they are. Then U of I. Shout out to everyone in Champaign back home who I know goes there.
They couldn't see your wave.
Yes, as I wave on to them. I'm going to say Michigan State next. It's weird seeing Michigan State so low.
Yeah.
But with the 2-4 record, not impressed. Not a good season for them. Next, I'll say Purdue. And then I'll say Indiana. And then Minnesota.
Man, these Hoosiers just not getting any love. Don't worry, Brady. You won't find them on this section of my list. 14, I got Rutgers. 13, Illinois. 12, Michigan State. 11, Northwestern. 10, Purdue. 9, Minnesota. And 8, Maryland. Now, really quick, out of these, what was it, 8 through 14? I don't think any of us know really enough Big Ten to talk about these teams. But Michigan State, what is
Big Ten's
happening
my
to them?
conference. I could talk Big Ten all day.
Oh, I know you could.
Well-
but
Michigan State.
Michigan State. What is?
Michigan State has.
We'll get to that in the Q&A because there's a really good Q&A question about Michigan State.
All right.
So
very
far.
quickly, they have. For those that don't know, they have 2 wins. A nice 15-point win over Furman, and a very nice win over my Notre Dame not so Fighting Irish.
So far,
I love it.
the record is 2-4 and 0-3 in conference. Just for a reminder.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's hear your 7, 6, and 5.
All right, my 7 is going to be Penn State. 6, the glory of old IU, Indiana Hoosiers at 6, and then Iowa at 5.
Okay.
So at 7 I have Minnesota, and at 6 I have Penn State. I think Maryland's been playing better, but the reason I have Maryland at 8 and then Penn State and Minnesota ahead of them at 7 and 6 is because they both beat Maryland. Anyway, 5 I have Iowa, kind of on the outside, still a good football team. At 4 I have
No. Once again, you're not following instructions.
I'm sorry, wait, what was it?
7, 6, and 5, Josh.
Big silly.
Oh, sorry.
You boo.
Trying to get ahead of yourself now.
I'm sorry, spoilers. I mean, who's it for? I didn't say anything.
Rewind.
Lyle, just go.
All right. I've got Penn State at 7, Iowa at 6, and then Indiana at 5.
All right.
There's some.
I know Brady likes that. All right, Brady.
I didn't even have them that high. I already went.
Oh, man.
All right, so I'll go. I'll go.
Man, what, is it the room or something that's just making us
So I'll
forget
just go with
things?
7
Yes.
with Northwestern, 6 with Maryland. To me, it's all about the overall record with the 4-2. And then after that, it's going to be Penn State.
See, the thing I love about this is all of our rankings have been completely different. Like, I think the only ones we agreed on were Rutgers and Illinois, but other than that, they've all been completely
It's all about the switch
completely
up.
different. At number 7, I'm going to go with Iowa. At number 6, some love to IU right there. And at number 5, Penn State, who I think is on the come-up. Penn State, guys, the last few years, I wouldn't go anywhere near their showers, but they have...
I was going to make that joke, but decided not to.
They have looked good recently, especially this season. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they only have 2 losses? If I can get a fact checker on that in the
Yes,
next
you are
minute, that'd
correct.
be
You are
great.
correct. You are
But,
correct.
Two losses and a throw in the ass.
Wrong. You're right, but you're still wrong. Anyway.
Everything you say is right.
All right, so
They are
Penn State
4-2.
gets some love. Indiana, they've looked good this year.
Who's
Oh, God.
IU.
They've looked good this year. Iowa's recovering from that loss to North Dakota State. Can they rebound? No. But other than that, that's a good roundabout. Guys, top 4. This should be very fun. Lyle, I'm going to kick it off to you to go first.
So I've got Wisconsin at 4, Nebraska at 3, Michigan at 2, Ohio State at 1.
I have the same top 4. Wisconsin, Nebraska, Michigan, Ohio State.
Wisconsin, Nebraska, go Big Red, Ohio State, and Michigan.
Wisconsin, Nebraska, Michigan, and Ohio State.
Is that your final answer?
Bringing it in. Final answer.
So I think pretty much all of us except for Josh had the same top 4 because I got Wisconsin, Nebraska, Michigan, Ohio State. That Ohio State-Michigan could be a toss-up. Nebraska, a lot of people want to know if they can go undefeated this year, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I got a very interesting fun fact that I found this week.
Is it fun?
It's very fun.
Ooh.
All right, who wants to have some fun right now?
I want to have fun.
All right, perfect.
I like to party.
So, Wisconsin is ranked, I think, 10th in the country. Am I right?
Yes,
ranked
sir.
number 10?
Yes, they are.
In their own division, they're ranked 5th.
Yeah.
How crazy! I find that just so fascinating.
So you know who called them overrated? Who?
I think you
Yes,
did.
I did.
But how about that though? You're
Yes.
10th in the country, but yet you're 5th in your own. Not in your own conference, in your own division.
It's because
in your conference.
No, if you look at their record, they're 4-2 right now, but they're 1-2 in conference. Their 2 losses, which are coming from Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah,
So losing in conference games,
it hurts.
it hurts a lot.
Or I know they're a good team. I just still find that completely
That is
fascinating.
That is a fascinating.
It's a great stat. I was happy when I found it. Now, guys, before we go on too far in the show, it is that time again. The Uni-Watch.
Yes!
We will not choose ASUs because we do not want to be biased, but Uni-Watch had us at 10 last
They were
week,
icy.
which, come on, they were icy white.
At
they
least
were
we
nice.
made the list.
We liked
At
them.
least we
Guys,
made the list.
what uniform caught your eye this week? Josh and Brady have their hand up. Guys, rock, paper, scissors right now. First
Rock,
go.
paper, scissors.
Wait, you went
Shoot. I'm going to shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
And Josh is the winner.
Right.
Josh, who was your
Scissors.
favorite uniform this week?
My favorite uniform was Maryland. I'm not going to say they're the best in the country, but they are without a doubt my favorite. I love their combinations, the all black, the Black Ops uniforms as they call them. Absolutely perfect. I loved them.
Brady, since you are the loser of the game, you may go next.
Makes sense.
Doesn't make any sense, but I'll take it. I liked Syracuse's uniforms this weekend. They were going with those light gray with the orange and dark blue outlines. There's some pretty cool uniforms, man. I'll tell you what, man. I'm
gonna go with.
I don't know what just happened, but Spencer, who is your favorite?
I was gonna go with Louisiana State's LSU's. With the
For a second, I'm like, who the hell's Louisiana State?
well, LSU, that's what they are, and they got
I
the
know.
purple, yellow stripes by the shoulders, and then the white helmets. Ooh, clean as can be.
Lyle?
I really like the Air Force uniforms this week with the gray pants.
Ooh, yeah, with the teeth.
It was the gray pants, the blue jerseys, and the royal blue helmets with that gray lightning streak on the side.
Nice.
Okay. And my favorite for the week, it didn't grab Uni-Watch's top 10.
They weren't good.
You can have a nice debate in the comment section about this one. BYU's. Very clean, very classic, very original, but just something about that blue. With the white pants, the jersey, and that shiny blue Y on the helmet. Maybe because my best friend goes to BYU and I'm just being a little biased here, but I thought those uniforms were great.
I can dig them.
I'm doing
I
everything
do
in
like
my power
them.
now.
I'm not saying they were. I'm not saying they were bad. I just wouldn't say they were.
It's
the
okay,
nicest.
man.
No, that's it.
It's okay, whatever. It's whatever.
I'm disagreeing with you, but I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Hey, we need controversy on the show. What better way to spark controversy than going to the Q&A?
Yeah.
The good old Q&A, the portion of the show every week where we tell you to ask us questions, and we'll try our best to answer. Gentlemen, as of right now, we have 196
Holy
comments.
hell! Well, I got some of the best ones.
That's great.
That's some of the best ones. I
man.
got some of the best ones too. Gentlemen, yes or no questions would be great because we can ramble on from time to time.
We'll expand on the
Here we go.
important ones.
Have you guys watched Last Chance U?
I have not, but I heard it's great.
I have. It is fantastic. I highly recommend it.
I have not, but I really want to dig myself
We
into
should
it.
do that.
Have not seen it.
I have not seen it as well. Here's a very good one. Do you think FSU can make the New Year's Six game if they win out, or even if they do win, do you see them going to a lower profile bowl?
They will go to a lower profile bowl, but there's no way they make it to a New Year's Six.
No chance New Year's Six.
They will not win out.
It's not the question, Lyle.
As
Yes, it was.
Yes, it
Oh,
was.
Can they win out?
Sorry.
I can see them doing it. I can see them winning it all.
And they take down
And-
Clemson. Woo!
And the New Year's Six if they take down Clemson.
Really? If the Big 12 did expand,
Sad.
what two teams would you guys choose to get added to the conference? And, by the way, this has grown to be one of my favorite channels on YouTube, and look forward to the show every
Thanks,
week.
Braden Vanticel.
you.
Braden,
So, I'm
out
gonna
to you, bud.
No, let's just, like I said, just try to do this quick. Just name your two
Yeah.
teams. Don't explain. Just name two teams you think would do well in the Big 12.
We could have a whole show on this, but I'm going to say Houston without a doubt, and I'll go out on a limb, and I'll say the Boise State Broncos.
took the words right out of my mouth.
Really?
Yep.
I had the exact same too. Houston, Boise State. Those guys,
High five.
those guys need some competition.
I was
so.
gonna say Houston and Cincinnati.
I'm gonna take that high
But-
five back though.
Oh.
But I like it.
Can I get a high five?
Yeah,
high
I was
five.
honestly thinking Houston and Boise State.
Hey, Spencer,
being
I got
tough.
a high five.
A four-star defender recently just decommitted from Notre Dame. How bad do you think Notre Dame's record in coaching and third Ds will hurt their recruiting? Lyle?
Ooh, good question.
I mean, evidently from that, it's hurting them already, and I think it's only gonna get worse if they don't do something either about their record or about Brian Kelly. I mean, I've been saying it for the last couple weeks now. He's in the past he's screamed at his players, but somehow it worked because they were still winning games. They went 10-2 or whatever last year, but now it's the formula's not working anymore, and I mean I've covered it all the last couple weeks. It's time for him to go. It's just another loss this week against Stanford, who's been awful this year, and I think.
What's your hashtag you're going to try to start bringing?
Oh, thank you, Brady, for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Hashtag less is more. That's spelled LES for less miles.
All right, so I'm going to get in here. Again, I'm not trying to pick on you, Lyle, but I am going to play devil's advocate again. The Irish did just sign I think it was either a 3 or 4 star just the other day. So, yes, they did have the decommit, but they did have another player verbally commit. However, I think the recruiting is definitely going to decline a little bit at Notre Dame. But again, they are one of the white-collar teams in college football. They are still going to have a strong recruiting class. Yes, they're going to miss out on a few very good recruits, but Notre Dame's still Notre Dame.
And
I do agree with you.
okay, fair.
I do agree.
And if anybody who is of any significance in the Notre Dame football program, if you're listening to this, sign some defensive backs. It's a joke. That secondary is a joke. Like,
I love it.
Don't edit this out.
Recruit some defensive backs, please.
I love it. All right, Brady, what's our next
I'm
question?
going to pose a question for you guys. Who do you think is the most underrated team in college football? I feel personally, this is from WFA Productions, by the way. I feel personally it's the great Chattanooga.
Yes.
They're training, they're preparing for both the Alabama game and the playoffs. Do you
Yes.
guys agree with them?
Don't
Sleep on Chattanooga.
WFA Productions, I like what you're doing over there. Yes, Chattanooga is the most underrated team in the nation, without a doubt. Good stuff, my man.
All right, but the actual question I was going to ask you guys. If the Spartans keep losing games, could D'Antonio be on the hot seat?
Yes.
I was thinking about that this week.
should be.
Why not?
There's
Why
no
is he
reason.
not on the hot seat?
I'm gonna say no.
I would say no.
I would say no as well.
If next year's similar, then yes.
Yes.
Or if it starts off very similar, then yes. But as of right now, even if they keep losing this year, no.
All right, now, Josh, I'm going to give you... Lyle, get your clock out. Get your clock out up right now.
Let's do it. I know what it's about. I think I'm ready.
Okay.
That's my
All
numbers
right,
cracking.
Lyle has his timer ready. I'm going to give Josh 30 seconds.
Let's go.
Lyle, when I say start, you may begin.
I'm gonna make this a debate, and I'm just gonna keep going.
How will USC's tough schedule help them out in the end if they manage to win out with Sam Darnold and get to the position where they're fighting for New Year's Six Bowl? Lyle, go. You have 30 seconds.
Without a doubt, if USC wins out, they will go to a New Year's Six bowl game, or if they win the Pac-12 conference. However, USC does not have a cakewalk. They do have Washington up in Seattle. UCLA is UCLA because it's a rivalry game. They also have Notre Dame, who could pose a threat. They won't. And they also have Oregon. They have Oregon at the Collie. I think USC has a I'd say 50-50 chance for USC to win out. If they don't, the one loss comes to the Huskies. Knock on wood, USC has a very good chance to go to a good bowl game, and they still have a chance to win the Pac-12 South.
And that is 30 seconds. Josh, that was a
Can I get an
rapid fire.
applause,
By the way,
please? Thank you.
It may sound scripted, but that was not.
Yes, that was not. I was ready.
I will
Damn.
applaud.
I didn't know what the question was, though. That was
Damn,
on the
that
spot.
was...
No.
wow.
Schaefer for president 2020?
Wrong.
No.
I think. What's going on?
Zay Gonzalez
What's
on
going on?
tweet.
Zay Gonzalez! Let's go!
Ladies and
Guys,
gentlemen,
hold on, let's remain calm here.
so-
Oh my God!
Zay
so here's the
Gonzalez.
idea. Brady
leaped out of his chair.
just tweeted, "Hey,
Zay Gonzalez, hey, check it out.
check out our podcast from last week. Check it out."
Oh
and you already know Zane Gonzalez
Oh my.
hit us with that favor retweet.
Oh my
Favorite.
God.
He hit it with the fave.
All right, boys.
Oh,
This is
man.
good. This is good, everyone. This is very good. Everyone, just keep it up. Make sure you still flood his Twitter. Let him know about the show. Show him the love. I lost my train
The
of
tweet,
thought.
the tweet is also on Brady's Twitter account, which is in the link in the description. right?
Yes. Wow.
Also, follow me at SPX09. I will follow
Oh,
back.
God.
Same with Josh.
But Brady scared me right there.
He leaped up. I was like, oh no, the recording canceled.
Hypothetically, if West Virginia goes undefeated, are they worth a spot in the college football playoff? I'll just answer that really quick. I feel like if you, regardless of who you are, if you go undefeated, yes, you should be deserving. Will they? We'll see. But
If you go undefeated and you are a Power 5 conference team, you have a chance. But I'll tell you right now, they will not go undefeated.
well, that's not the question.
Same
It's
thing.
if they go undefeated, are they worth a spot in the playoff?
Yes.
And I said,
yes.
I said
Oh,
yes. Technically,
I said
I did.
down, didn't I?
I'll say sure.
Why not?
Eh,
Yes.
They won't. They won't win out.
it's not the question.
Shut up! I don't care. Okay, sorry. I do care.
Now, this guy's been trying to get a question asked for weeks, and I feel bad because we always forget about him. But the sad part is now we've actually answered both of his questions without
Yeah.
really answering them in the podcast. Here are some of the guy from Twitter. What's up, my man Blake? His name is Blake, so
Yes.
shout out to him. Do you think Boise State is legit? We kind of already touched on that. It's tough to say because of who they have played. They are undefeated, which is good. It'll all come down to that BYU game tomorrow, which when you're listening to this now, the game is going on, so we'll see about that. And what do you think about the Big 12 postponing expansion? I think it's stupid. They need to be adding teams now. I think it was a terrible call on their parts. So, we'll see what happens with that conference. But appreciate all the love, bro. Keep watching, keep asking, keep being you. On a scale of 9 to 10, how trash of a coach is Brian Kelly?
10.
11.
I'm gonna go with 8.
Oh, whoa.
I'll go with a solid 9. How about SDSU beating NDSU? And do you think the Jacks can make a run in the FCS? Love the show. I like seeing North Dakota State go down to someone. Could they make a run? The FCS, we don't know who's taking that this year, Chattanooga. So, unfortunately, no, I will not be fearing the ear and hashtag go Jack. But hey, props to you guys for taking out North Dakota State. Before we go to the pick'em, as we do every week, we ask fans to tell which team they feel needs an extra fan. So, Spencer, who are you a fan of this week?
All right, I'm going to say multiple teams.
Because you had some good ones.
I did.
this week.
I had some great ones. All right, I'm going to start with DJ Matty B. Raps.
Oh, God.
And he's the one who said I should be a Browns fan.
Okay.
So I'll be a Browns fan for that.
That sucks.
Who else?
It's not going to last long. But so this guy, I had a good conversation with him. His @name is Lucas ML3. Team from Barcelona, Spain, said I should be a Barcelona Buffalo fan.
All right.
Okay.
So you bet I'm going to be a fan of that.
Not the
Okay.
Barca fan you'd think someone would tell you to be a fan of, too.
True.
I like it.
Cooper Womack, my man. Prattville Swim League Sea Lions, and they're going to state this week in Alabama. So kudos to you, and you
Right.
bet
Good
I'll
looking state,
Good
guys.
luck in state.
and you bet I'll be rooting for
Right.
you.
Buffaloes.
No,
All right,
it's a
so they
different
have
team.
a new fan, and good for those teams.
Sea
as always.
Lions.
Yeah,
We
if
still
you,
have one more?
So for my last team, it's gonna be from Legion's highlights, and he says I have a new team for Spencer to cheer for, and it's the Delta State Fighting Okra. So, to be honest, I don't know what an okra is.
You don't know what an okra is?
I will look it up.
Do you know what an okra is?
Or
No, we're
Orange.
not
It's a
have, okay,
vegetable.
no, guys,
You
no
Googled
history
it.
lesson now. No history lesson because the bells are ringing.
By the way, I know what an okra is because
I'm a
it's
fan.
a native plant of Indiana.
I'm a fan.
Gentlemen, the
I'm a
bells
fan.
are ringing.
I do like the name though.
Which once again, it's not Josh with the bell.
So is
With
that
those bells ringing.
School's over.
School unfortunately is not over. It is time for the pick'em. The part of the show where we all make outrageous picks, and either we're right or we're wrong. There's only one you can be. So now, as always,
I'm not looking forward to this
we
at
do.
all.
We
I
do-
am.
We do keep score of the pick'ems, and I've been leading the way the entire year so far, and I still am.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I'm leading the way, but
In pride.
I am tied with Lyle
tied with.
How am I tied? I got 8 out of the 10 right.
because I was up by 3 and I got 5 of them right. So
Nice. Look at the
you
math.
do the math right there, and unfortunately you couldn't overtake me. But Lyle and I are in the lead with 21. I guess you could say second/third is Spencer with 18. And in a nice tie for last with 16 is Brady and Josh.
We live together.
Yes, we do. Roommate
So-
power.
So it's 23,
No, 21.
21, 18,
and 16. Yes.
Nice.
This is my
nice.
week, boys. I'm going
No,
undefeated.
see, now this is going to be a
It's
very good
close.
one because there's
It's
a
close.
lot of even matchups coming up this week. Now, guys, okay, originally I did not have them in the pick'ems. This is a game that, as the viewers are listening, is going on right now. BYU and Boise State, because I think that's going to be a very good game that we
Yes.
did not get pick'em up to.
Yes.
It's going to be an additional one. Who do you think wins that game?
Broncos.
Boise State.
Boise State.
You go first.
BYU.
My gut says Boise State, so I'm gonna say Boise State.
Oh, come on, guys. They're all going against one. It's okay. 1 point for me. I'll take it. Miami at Virginia Tech.
Miami's been pretty sluggish the last couple games. However, I think they do bounce back this week and beat Virginia Tech.
Brad Kaya, San Fernando Valley reppin'. Go Canes.
Miami's fallen out of the top 25 because of their 2 losses. So, I'm saying, I'm hoping that the game is their rebound game, that they're gonna win again. So go Canes. Throw up the U. Throw up the U.
Go up the U for Brad Kaya.
Brady.
I got the U too.
Jeez, you
that
guys are
right.
no
Again?
fun all picking the same teams.
Really?
Being
Picking the-
smart.
Yeah, but people
Maybe.
don't want smart. People want exciting and fun. That's why I'm going with the Hokies at home.
I'm hurt, man.
Colorado at Stanford.
I'm going to take this one first, and as a USC fan and an Arizona State fan, Stanford, please step up to the plate and just smack that ball. Please hit a home run this week. However,
We're
they
talking about the
won't.
same sport.
They won't, and Colorado will win the game. But ASU and USC need
But like
Stanford
what,
to
an
win this
RBI
game.
double or what?
I think
They need a home run. No RBI doubles this week.
Come on.
Stanford needs to hit a home
They
run.
need to hit a grand slam, bro.
Yeah.
I think Colorado's gonna win this one. I think Stanford's just been worse than Notre Dame.
Please, Stanford.
No, they're not worse than Notre Dame.
Please,
Actually,
Stanford win.
they're not. They beat them. But I got Colorado.
It is at where?
Stanford.
It's at Stanford. Ooh. I'm gonna take the Cardinal. I'm gonna be Blake. I'm gonna be exciting, so I'm gonna take Stanford.
I like that. McCaffrey probably is going to be back this week. Stanford is at home.
We all know the stat about McCaffrey and being home.
That's true. We do like that. You know what? On my thing right now, it says, God, oh, this is too tough. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go with. Oh my God, this is too tough. Ugh.
Pick one, Blake. 3.
Minus another one for Blake.
I'm gonna go with Stanford at home.
And you know what? With that,
I'm gonna be in last next week for the pick.
With Stanford, no. Then I'm gonna stay in last too, because you know what? I am gonna take Stanford in this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm switching to
Whoa,
Stanford.
change of
If it's at home, I'm gonna go. Colorado's a good team. They're gonna put up a fight. But you know what? We need Stanford to win this game as ASU fans. As a USC fan, I need them to win this game. And with it being at home, I like Stanford.
There we go.
I'm gonna
like
go
that.
Stanford.
Way to go, guys. Memphis at Navy.
Navy. No. Mike Norvell, former Sun Devil offensive coordinator. I'm going Memphis.
I like Navy in this game.
I'm gonna go Memphis in this game.
I'm gonna have to go Navy.
I like the split decision. Good stuff. I'm going with Memphis though. TCU at West Virginia.
West Virginia's. Ooh boy.
Undefeated.
West Virginia is undefeated.
At home.
Yeah, but
At
it is
home.
Big 12 football, and it is
It is.
TCU.
I'm gonna say the Mountaineers.
I still like West Virginia in this game.
Mountaineers.
Blake, why don't you go?
All right,
Usually the host goes last, but you know.
it's okay.
Chivalry.
It says here, I like West Virginia, what they're doing. I'm going to go with West Virginia.
I'm gonna go with West Virginia as well.
See, now I hate this when this happens when we all choose the same team. It makes
Sorry.
it no fun.
Sorry.
Arkansas at Auburn.
I like Auburn in this game. I do. I mentioned that I think Arkansas is not really overrated, but I think their ranking says they're a little bit better than they actually are. So I'm gonna go with the Tigers.
I'm going with Arkansas on this one.
I like Arkansas in this game too.
Going Arkansas. Arkansas.
I'm going Auburn on this one.
Wow.
Ole Miss at LSU.
And this is at Baton
LSU.
Rouge.
Yeah. That's what at means.
And
Well, why don't you go? You're ready.
I think Ole Miss bounces back from their loss last week at Arkansas. Chad Kelly will have a good game. I like Ole Miss in this game.
Spencer?
I'm really undecided for this one. Because
Brady?
I can see either team. Alright, it's not like I was talking or anything.
I said
but-
LSU was overranked, so I can say I'm gonna say Ole Miss is gonna win this one on the road.
Spencer?
So, I'm going to take LSU.
I'm gonna go with the Tigers too. At Baton Rouge, I like the Tigers.
I'm going with Ole Miss. I like that one. Love you, Spencer.
I like the pick. I like the pick. God.
Shut up.
Spence pick. I like the pick. Spence.
Michigan State at Maryland.
Maryland. Go Terps.
Terps.
I got Maryland.
Let me see those unis. Terps.
Michigan State.
I got Michigan State as well.
I'm going to say Michigan State by at least 2.5 touchdowns.
Ooh, 2.5
Really?
touchdowns. How
14%, maybe 17 points. I'm going to say that.
Give or take.
Texas A&M and Bama.
God.
Where's the game? At Bama.
It's at Bama.
That's at Bama.
Let's go.
Bama.
This is a great game.
It's a great game.
It really is. But I think Bama just squeaks out a win.
I agree with you, Lyle. Just barely. By 6. Bama.
Trevor Knight has done it before by playing well against the Crimson Tide. But can he do it again? You see, Alabama's too good of a team for me. So I can't bet against them. So I'm going to say Crimson Tide. Especially with them being at home. And that helps a lot.
Okay. Brady, did you already go?
I said Alabama. Yeah.
Well, you guys, once again, are no fun. All
You're picking the
same
Aggies, aren't
team.
you?
I think Alabama is going to win. I'm not surprised with Texas A&M and how great they've been.
So
we
is that
all
a Bama
we all
pick?
knew what Texas A&M did a few years ago with Mr. Manziel.
No money, Manziel.
Can it happen again? We'll see.
Mo money.
But I want to have a little something on the line with this game, so I'm gonna go with Texas A&M.
You really are
taking
putting
this
it
game.
on the line this
I'm
week.
not gonna
The
be
ball's
in first.
on this kid.
I'm not gonna be in
Wow.
first next week for the pick'em anymore.
Can I just point out and say that Lyle's doing math homework?
Hey, it's okay. We
College.
like that.
Sorry, it's getting
Wow.
late. Sorry.
Wow.
You're like an Asian child.
You're
Lyle.
picking against
gotta edit that
Alabama
part out.
at home.
The worst of the worst.
The game of the week where you cannot pay us or offer us any sort of exchange of any sorts, unless it's meeting Zane Gonzalez, to watch this game. Gentlemen, Miami, Ohio travels to Bowling Green. Who comes out victorious?
Okay, so when I was around 7 or 8 years old, the first strike I ever bowled was with a green bowling ball. So I'm taking Bowling Green in this game.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so can I just?
That's the best reasoning for anything Lyle's ever said. Lyle has the most random reasoning for things, but that was
these-
the best.
these-
You told me you were gonna say something like that, and it still caught me off guard.
These worst of the worst things are great.
Okay, so anyway, as I said last week and the week before, the team that scores more points is probably going to win this game. And in that case, I'm going to call out Bowling Green for saying that you have green in your name and green is not one of your colors. So for that reason alone, I like it. It's a bold strategy. I'm going with Bowling Green. It's a bold move. Let's see if it pays off.
You see, this game kind of relates home to me because a lot of my friends have either gone to Bowling Green or Miami, Ohio. So I know a fair amount of these teams. So I'm going to say one super good game, not against super good teams, but a good game in general. I'm going to say the Bowling Green.
I knew a guy that played football at Miami of Ohio, I think for a year or two or whatever it was.
Red Hawks.
Yes, they are the Red Hawks. Good hockey team. I'll tell you
Good
that.
hockey team.
Very good hockey team. But I will tell you this. My 7th grade English teacher's fiance works for Bowling Green, and my 7th grade English teacher now works for Bowling Green. So I gotta go for Bowling Green at Lichty. Let's go.
Shout out to Brady's 7th grade English teacher's fiance, probably now husband and teacher.
My high
No,
school's
well,
defensive
what he-
coach went to Bowling Green.
He was in charge of like running and creating all the graphics for like the video board.
Hey,
It's
coach.
kind of a cool job.
So all of you pick Bowling Green.
That means he's taking my
we
hand.
really
okay.
all picked Bowling Green.
In my defense, I did have Miami, Ohio winning this game as well, so I'm just going to stick with my pick and go with the O. Miami, Miami, Ohio.
I like it, Blake. Good
Oh, thank you. And as always, we end the week with our fellow Sun Devils. This weekend, we welcome the Washington State Cougars for homecoming, where we'll be rocking the Sparky gear. I love it more than anything.
Love it.
Guys,
Sideline.
Washington State is not a team that should, be taken too lightly. Who wins this game? And I want Josh to go first because he told me something very interesting the other day.
So, I have been very impressed with Arizona State's offense, except for the last 3 weeks. They struggled against USC. They struggled against UCLA. They got the job done. They scored when they needed to, but they did not impress me against UCLA, and they were absolutely pathetic against Colorado. The ASU secondary has been lackluster. They show up when they need to in the fourth quarter. Arizona State is a fourth quarter team. The front seven has been fairly impressive. The run game is not what it used to be. So, for those reasons alone, despite in front of a homecoming crowd, despite the fact that it's a home game, despite the fact that Arizona State is a fourth quarter team, I hate to say it, I have to go with Washington State.
My heart hurts.
So does mine. Prove me wrong. I want to be proved wrong.
It's going to be a free point. So I'm going to say Arizona State. Coming off, they're a much better home team than they are away team. Because
They sure are, dude.
play like
It's because of the students.
absolute disgrace when they're away.
Yeah.
Since it's homecoming, a lot of fans, a lot of students going to be watching this game. I think we're going to show up when we need to. Against Washington State, ASU takes the dub.
It's just another air raid offense, though, with Luke Falk, who I think is the best
Luke
quarterback
Falk
in
and
the
Gabe
conference.
Marks.
Luke Falk
Gabe Marks
and
is a
Gabe
name that
Marks.
needs to be recognized because
Oh,
he
yes.
is a beast. Lyle.
I just think that outside of those two guys and Luke Falk and Gabe Marks, that Wazoo doesn't really have much else. Plus, ASU's at home. I think they can bounce back from a tough loss, so I'm going to take the Sun Devils in this game.
Homecoming. Student section, popping. ASU's going to win this one. Short and sweet.
I did like the Washington State pick. I think it'll be a good game. But then I did remember it is homecoming. So that place is going to be LIT lit. Mr. and Mrs. Harris highlights will be in attendance in the stands.
Same with my parents.
It's
Same
going to
with
be
my parents.
even more lit. High five.
High five.
High five. It's going to be a very lit game. I can't see ASU losing this game. I'm going to go with ASU.
Now, of course, I am the only one. I'm being devil's advocate, even though the first pick was mine. So more like y'all are being
Shot
devil's
for how many
advocates.
times you've said that.
I will be going Sun Devils 100%, 110%. I want to be proved wrong. The last 3 games have been lackluster. I know the games at home. I haven't been to Sun Devil Stadium since week 4 because I was working a few games, and then we had some road games. Please, prove me wrong. You have my support 100%. I just haven't seen ASU play well the last 3 weeks, even in a win against UCLA.
Well, unfortunately, that wraps up this week's episode of the Harris Highlight Show. Already 4 episodes we've done, guys. It's been...
That's 4 hours worth of podcasting.
And all the stuff that we had to edit out.
More than that.
And all the stuff we've edited out. Well, we should have like an unrated podcast because that would be some gold right there.
Hey, Lyle, what question are you on for math homework?
Not far enough, but
As always, we're all on Twitter. The links will be in the bio. We love talking college football with you guys. So hit us up. If you have a team you would like Spencer
And
to root for, hit him up
Always
as
message
well.
me. You bet.
Always message him. I would say ladies, but here at Harris Highlights, we have a 98% male audience. So I don't think any females are going to be messaging you anytime
Probably for good
soon.
reason.
It's probably your mom and all of our moms.
It's probably all of our
If
moms
we're not
watching
getting
it
DMs from females, why do we even do this show?
because we get DMs and likes from
For
Zane
the love of the
Gonzalez.
game.
Yes! St. Gonzalez added up to
37.
37.
As always, you can listen to the show on SoundCloud. That way, if you're driving to work, to school, lifting in the gym, or doing anything
Making a
else,
sandwich.
making a sandwich, listen to
I'm
the
really
show
hungry.
on SoundCloud. I'm hungry as well.
Doing
SoundCloud's
math
a
homework.
great way to go. A lot of great games of college football this week. Just have a great weekend. Go team, whoever your team is. Thank you for watching. We love you all. See you next week for episode number 5.
Forks up, baby.
Woo, I'm in Hollywood. See, I said
It's been fun.
I really thought you were all going to get in on that forks up.
Forks up, baby.
Forks up, anybody? Prove me wrong,
Forks up
boys.
for Harambe.
Prove me wrong. Hit it, Zane. 38.
Hey, why not make it 90?